All right, True Crime Good Crime fans, I still have my little crew here. Say hi, crew.
Hi, crew.
I'm going to tell you about one more crypto mystery death. This is the disappearance and then unfortunate finding of remains of Beau Mann. He was a Sober Grid CEO. We'll talk about what that is. He was missing 18 months, and then he was recently found, well, his remains were found. So let's get into it. Here's Beau behind me. Look at that good-looking guy. Beau is the founder and CEO of Sober Grid. Sober Grid's an app for people who had addictions and wanted to get over it. The police in Santa Monica did confirm Monday I should say, Monday, I think that was April 25th. Well, May 6th was when they confirmed it, that man who had been last seen on November 30th in 2021, that it did look like his remains were there. And they said a tip led them to the remains on April 25th, and then a positive identification was made May 6th. So, here's Beau. Life was good. He had a 5-year relationship here with his fiance, Jason Abate. Now, Jason lives in Michigan. They had like a jet set lifestyle, or at least Beau did. And Jason, his home was in Michigan. So they were engaged. And actually, he said his last message from Beau was Beau saying that he wanted to adopt. And he was so happy to start their life together. And then here's Beau with his godmother, Sandy Eagers. Sandy was actually the friend of one, a mother of one of Beau's friends, and she had a lot of business savvy, and she was the one who kind of helped guide him to start the business. So what was the business? What is Sober Grid? Sober Grid. So here's the logo. It is a digital health company providing mental health addiction care around the world in 170 countries through an app. So now you ladies are younger. What do you think about getting sober through an app? Does that sound normal to you guys?
Like,
seriously.
I can't say I've heard of anybody doing it before.
But I mean, do you think apps could be used in that way? Like,
yeah.
I mean, as an old person, I'm kind of like...
I would hope, but I've heard bad things. There's like therapy apps, and I've only heard really bad things about them.
Okay.
I don't know how if they would be better than what you would get in person.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know either. But now the mobile user base is the largest social mobile networking application, this is from them, for people with substance abuse issues on a mobile platform. And so Beau Mann is the founder. It was founded in April 29th of 2015. There's over 350,000 users. I mean, that's from Wikipedia, and obviously they probably got the information from the company. Sandy Eagers, who I showed you previously, the mom of a friend, she said, I guided him in his business ventures, and eventually he started his own business, which was the Sober Grid. He did admit to having problems himself. I am not clear if it has, I'm assuming it has therapists and substance abuse counselors that can help you, and maybe the mobile aspect of it helps with not feeling embarrassed, and there's sort of an anonymity there so that you can really be honest, which is what I would guess, but it seems to be very popular. What I don't know is, how much is it worth? If you know, put it in the comments below. How much is Sober Grid worth, and who inherited whatever Beau had? That's really important. He wasn't married yet, so I don't think it went to his fiance. But who, you know, let's just be honest. Who would stand to reason to benefit from him not being there? We don't know. So here's some strange events and facts surrounding Beau's disappearance. And I have to admit, I went down a weird rabbit hole because now, unlike the guy who was unalived by a knife because he seemingly slept with somebody's sister and things got out of hand at partying, this is just a complete mystery. So he's 39 years old. His fiance is in Michigan. He's working. He is seen on surveillance camera November 11th. He was at a 7-Eleven near his business. So was at a 7-Eleven. He had told his fiance his car wasn't working, so taking Ubers would not have been surprising. And then he's never seen again. So he gets into this Uber. So what happens? Now this is kind of interesting. Jason doesn't hear from him for a couple of days and wonders, okay, like, yes, he can be very busy, but after a couple of days, that there's something not right. So by December 1st, he's contacting the LAPD, but he's in Michigan. So this is important to know. If somebody is missing, always know if your family, friends live out of state, especially, or out of town, you need to know somebody who can physically contact the police there, because you can't just call in a missing person from across the country, apparently, or not easily anyways. So Jason could not get the police. They said you need to find somebody who's physically in the area first to go check on him. He's an adult, right? So Jason contacted Beau's assistant. Beau's assistant, she had the keys to his apartment. She went there. She could not locate Beau. So she was the one who filed the missing paperwork on December 4th. But in an article, the woman who took over the case, she said that officially the LAPD Missing Persons Unit, they opened a case December 17th. So just think of how long somebody had to clean up whatever from November 30th to December 17th. It's kind of scary that we keep talking about like the golden 48 hours that you hear about. It's not like it has to be solved within 48 hours or nothing's going to happen, but they need, like, if they don't get a lead within those first 48, it becomes much more hard to ever solve the case. So way more than 48 hours. So the LAPD learned that Beau was dropped off by the Uber. So he had first taken an Uber to the 7-Eleven, and then they obtained some security footage, and sorry, I think I did a little weird cut and paste here, but he was dropped off there. Then he got into a second Uber, which that right there is kind of weird. And I don't know if he was at a business meeting close to where he was. I don't know. He gets out of an Uber at the 7-Eleven. He gets dropped off there, but then he gets into another Uber. When he gets into that Uber, he texts 911 for help. And the LAPD did say, they confirmed that, yes, he texted 911 for help. So then they said there were several attempts to contact him via that correspondence. Beau never responded. And then the officer said, despite that, her office does not suspect foul play at this time. This is prior to his remains being found. But as you can see, I put, what the fuck? What the fuck? So number one, what can we learn from all this? Do not text 911. If you are in a dangerous situation, you can't text 911. You have to call 911 and, leave the line open so that they can track your phone. Do not text 911. Important to know, right? And the fact, though, I still don't understand. They don't suspect foul play. Ooh. So he dials 911. He's never seen again for a year, like 18 months. He wasn't seen. At this point, I think it was 9 months. But when this actual article was written, this dateline was done, 9 months. Oh, but we don't think foul play. You think he just, disappeared into another dimension? I don't know. To me, that is very disturbing. So, now, the one article said he took this 30-minute ride. So I don't know if it really was 30 minutes. He went from, the Hollywood, just north of the Hollywood area where he was in, and he went 30 minutes away about to Santa Monica. They know that an Uber dropped him off. In fact, we know where he was dropped off. and now we know where he was found. So a spokesperson for the company said, well, yes, he sent them a gibberish message at around 2 p.m. before he stopped responding. So he was trying to contact 911. It was gibberish. I don't know. Ladies, am I crazy? But if someone is trying to contact 911 and it seems like they're so scared they can't write normal, like, wouldn't you think that was... Am I crazy for thinking that? Sounds like, wow, sounds like something bad was going down.
Yeah.
I mean, gibberish, what, just for fun, and then I'm going to disappear? Mm-mm. So, who was the tipster that told them where his body could be found? So, somebody said this body is in this courtyard of an abandoned building near Santa Monica Boulevard. It's this abandoned apartment building. It's really weird, Santa Monica, like just around the block, there's $1 million houses. In fact, the house he was dropped off at is worth multiple millions of dollars. I don't know who was renting it at the time, but I hope the police are, but I don't know what the police are doing. Sorry. So they go to the Santa Monica address, and he was found there. So on April 25th, they do receive this information that human remains were found. They said in a courtyard of an abandoned property, but I don't know. It was also reported that he was found inside the apartment building. I find it hard to believe. I don't know. What do you guys think? 18 months a body was laying outside, right off Route 66.
Wouldn't it like decompose?
It would decompose. Obviously, yes. His remains were decomposed. So I think he had to at least been encapsulated in something, because I just can't believe. I mean, a rotting body just out in a courtyard would smell horribly. So the location of this abandoned property was a minute away, 4 minutes if you walked down this alley, 1 minute if you drove from where he was reportedly dropped off by that second Uber. So, and then on May 6th, they did identify his body and say it was him, but no cause of death has been determined. Yeah, because it's been 18 months. All right, so here's where he was picked up by that 7-Eleven on Ventura Boulevard. And if you take this way, I mean, again, I don't know if kidnappers take the quickest way possible to be efficient, but it takes about 31 minutes to get to the area of Santa Monica, that boulevard where he was found. And it was 18 miles, but he texted 911, apparently, but nobody thinks that seems weird. So here's where he was found. I don't know if you can see it really well, but this is the apartment complex. Over here is like the big Santa Monica. It's actually on Yale. It's 13449 Yale Avenue, if you'd like to Google and take a little walk around. The building, obviously this is where the apartments were. And then it looks like back in here is maybe where the courtyard was, but I walked around. I think that might just be the parking. I think the courtyard is where this tree is, like behind there. And it looks like right next to it is the manager's apartment. Hold on, let me see if I can show you the front. I don't know if I took a picture of the front. Okay, so this is what it looks like driving down the street. This is like this alleyway. Well, they say this is Yale, and then there's an alley that's about over here. And then you can sort of see. And they did say, look at that area. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a high fence. There's tons of vegetation. This was actually from the Sun, and they showed in here. So I think it was like over to the side. And there's the courtyardy area. And then the Sun reported that in this back area, so this right here, I believe, is the caretaker, like the office area that you would go. And then this over here, so from there's an area that's enclosed. He said this is the exact spot where Beau's remains were found. Now, were they found like behind here? Where they found, I don't know. I have a hard time believing they were just hanging out. So where was Beau dropped? So he was dropped like only 4 minutes away. He was dropped at 133 Berkeley Street. And I looked up on Zillow because I wanted to be like, well, was he dropped off at a place that could be like he knew somebody? Was he purposefully going to this place? I don't know why he called 911 in the car because he got nervous, but the place looks nice. It was rented in for $15.20, so before anything happened, and then it was listed again for rent February 1st. So some person seems to have rented it from April 2020 to January 2003, which does encompass the area. So, but we don't know. Was he ever really dropped off there? Did something happen to him there? I don't know. Did the police go in? Wouldn't the police at least go inside and swab for blood at that location where they knew the Uber dropped him off? So he was found like 1,000 feet away from. And the house, look at what the house is worth. $2 million. I know it's California, but I mean, there's pictures here. It's obviously, it looks like it was flipped and then rented, but it's a nice house. So, yeah, it's a 4-minute walk. And this right here, so that is the house where he was dropped off. And then look, this is the alley. Now, it'll tell you if you want to drive to go this way on, what do you call it? Santa Monica Boulevard, Route 66. So you can get your kicks. Not the kick you want if you were him. And there's the 1-minute drive again. But see, this, and you can do Google Maps and like drive down this is like a unnamed back road right here. I am telling you, you could very easily transport somebody like a dead body. You don't just, it's a 4-minute walk, but you could also drive that. It's an alley. And there's the alley. So, as I said, the quickest, most secretive private route is this alley that takes about 4 minutes to walk, and it keeps you off Santa Monica Boulevard. So, no cameras, right? I mean, look at it. There's nothing back here. I mean, people aren't, I guess some people might have cameras, but I don't know if the police even looked. So, again, that's just one of many strange people missing. I will tell you the story of Bob Lee, even though that sort of is a one and done because we know about it, but it's kind of crazy. And I'll be back soon with the rest of episode 48 uploads after I investigate the crime of Scandival. It's a crime of the heart, but it's important. All right, so hey, like, subscribe, hit that, smash that like button, hit the bell if you wanted to be updated. Leave me a comment below. Who do you think is killing the cryptos? The crypto kings. I mean, or is it just there's so many of them, just like there's so many crimes that statistically, I guess some of them would have to die just like every normal person. I don't know. It does seem a little bit weird. The doctor person, you wonder who could an emergency room doctor who grew up in Idaho, who had 8 kids, who was newly engaged, who would want to kill him? And then you learn about his crypto background. This guy, gonna be married, had gotten sober and started an app to help people. Who would want to kill him? It's just kind of interesting, right? All right. Bye.